Someone is leaving here with a ring and the rights to call themselves national champions. The 15U's come down to this, with 168 teams now dwindled down to 2. Atlanta Braves scout team in the East Coast Sox National. I'm Cory McCartney, welcoming you into the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village in the finale of the 15U National Championship. I'll be joined along the way by our own Grayson, Rosen, an expected first pitch on this one at 11:50 a.m. Excited to bring this to you, and we see already some of the great action that we've had here, some fantastic semifinals and some great reaction there from that high-powered Atlanta Braves scout team that we will see in action here. Again, eyeing an 11:50 a.m. first pitch in this one, so you get to squeeze in a late breakfast. I think the Hobbit's called a second breakfast, so you get to squeeze that in with us today and watch some baseball. So we are excited to bring you all of this one. Let's go ahead and check out our Windscreen Factory starting lineups for this matchup between the Atlanta Braves scout team and the East Coast Sox National. Atlanta Braves scout team will be led off by center fielder Rylan Jenkins. Then it's second baseman Isaiah Cador. Then it's shortstop Gavin Gebhardt. Daniel Biondo, the extra hitter. Liam Collier, the pitcher, will hit for himself in the fifth spot. Chase Gockenbach, the first baseman, hits sixth. Fisher Green, the third baseman, hits seventh. Hitting eighth is Brooks DeRosa, the left fielder. Hitting ninth is catcher Micah Vaughn. Hitting 10th is Evan Bansavage, the right fielder. For East Coast Sox National, led off by Sawyer Jackson, the third baseman. Then it's Adam Corrado, the shortstop, followed by Kendall Willis, the DH. Cameron Evans, center fielder, hitting fourth. Hitting fifth is J.B. Boykin, the left fielder. Hitting sixth is Trip Giangrosso, the extra hitter. Hitting seventh is Caleb Coover, the right fielder. Hitting ninth is Bryce Vukovic, the second baseman. Hitting ninth is William Vukovic, the first baseman. Hitting 10th is Joshua Martin. No Vitch on the end of his name there. And Graham Lockhart, the right-hander, will be on the mound. Again, excited to bring you this game. I think it's going to be a lot of fun for you. Some great semifinal matchups leading into this. And some great action across the entire week here, as we have had so many great players across campus. And this Atlanta Braves scout team, as I mentioned, not short on talent. 15 players ranked in their respective states, 5 carrying national rankings. Our Barnsley Resort Player Spotlight firmly on one of those players ranked here in the Peach State, Kalen Frederick from Milton, Georgia's 8th-ranked outfielder and 29th overall in the class. The metrics are absolutely staggering. A 101.7 exit velo, bat speed up to 82 miles per hour. You can see the prep baseball Georgia scouts take on him there. Frederick, most certainly a name to keep an eye on as this game unfolds. Now, he's not alone in the fantastic players that we have seen across campus throughout this past week here. The 15U National Championship has been loaded. One of the teams that made some serious noise during pool play was the Ohio Hit Dogs. Their roster included Jacob Groeschel, Ohio's number 3 player in the class of 2028. He's 48th in the nation. Outfielder and right-handed pitcher out of Kenton Ridge. He caught up with Jack McCartney for this edition of Dugout Chatter.
I'm here with Jacob Groeschel, the 3rd-ranked player in the class of 2028 in the state of Ohio, an outfielder and right-handed pitcher for the Ohio Hit Dogs. Jacob, man, thanks for the time.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
You live in Ohio where the weather is pretty chilly most of the year.
Yeah.
During spring ball, it's pretty chilly. You come down here, it's so hot. How do you deal with the drastic increase in temperature over a short period of time?
You know, I don't really know. It's just like gets to you more, the heat, and it's like 60 down where I live, and then you come up here, it's like 90, and turf, so it makes it even hotter.
Yeah. You played in the Junior Future Games last year. That's a huge goal for most people at the end of the summer. What are your goals for the end of this summer?
Probably to get into sophomore future games, another goal for me. And, you know, Junior Future Games is super fun, and I can't wait to do this again.
You guys play on a travel team where you guys have practices here or there, and then you guys come down here and you guys just live with each other. And how do you guys kind of get that chemistry going and allowing one run in 4 games?
You know, it's like a hard thing to do, and I mean, I know we're like super good, and we have that team chemistry. We can really get along and get hits there, and you know, it just happens.
All right, Jacob, man, thanks for the time.
Yeah, of course.
Great stuff there from Jack and Jacob Groeschel. You can also catch that interview across our social media channels if you missed a second or if you just want to watch it one more time. The on-field action is just part of the offerings here at LakePoint Sports, where we effort to provide a best-in-class experience that includes access to testing and player performance data that is redefining evaluation and recruiting. Located here on campus, the Curve Test Center gives athletes an unprecedented look at how they measure up through its ball, body, and brain approach to testing. Let's go inside the Curve Test Center.
We're here at LakePoint Sports, the site of the first Curve Test Center. There will be lots of Curve Test Centers, but this will always be the first. And why are we here? Here for a couple of reasons. One is if you think about the effort players are spending trying to get coaches to notice them, the effort coaches are spending trying to figure out who's actually any good, the poor parents who are sitting there saying, where's my kid headed? This is the answer for all that.
Everyone wants to be seen, right? Sometimes what can be seen is data. So it's hard to get in front of coaches at all these programs at once, or even the school you really want to go to. So using data helps us a ton. And as long as it's reliable and there's something that can give us better information with the small sample size is what we're looking for.
Two, one.
Test your athletic, cognitive, and baseball skills with TrackMe and Proteus and more. Visit at the Bubble here on the LakePoint Sports Campus or sign up now at curvetestcenters.com. Don't miss this chance to level up your game. Our players are out on the field warming up for this 15U National Championship game between the Atlanta Braves scout team and East Coast Sox Nationals. Still going through their warm-ups, as I mentioned. So we're going to leave you with our Windscreen Factory starting lineup until our action gets started here. We'll be rejoining you as soon as we can with first pitch from the 15U National Championship Final.
one.
Welcome in studio now, Cory McCartney, joined by Grayson Rosen as we bring you this matchup between the Atlanta Braves scout team and East Coast Sox National for the 15U National Championship. Going to get a look at Rylan Jenkins here. Will lead things off against the Atlanta Braves scout team. And Grayson, this Atlanta Braves scout team absolutely loaded. 2 2025 future gamers on this team. So you had 2 2027s who still aged in to this 15U division. 15 players ranked in their respective states in all, 5 nationally ranked players. They outscored opponents 45-8 in pool play. Just an absolutely dominant squad. And East Coast Sox, not to be outmatched, they outscored opponents 45-6 in pool play. 3 ranked players in their respective states. We talk about this a lot of times when we get to this time of the year. When you have these teams of players, highly touted players that come together, then you have a group of kids that have spent some more time together and built that cohesiveness. How that matches up, we get to see that play out now for a national championship.
Yeah, I think both of these teams do have the benefit of being relatively regional.
Yeah.
And so these guys do get the chance every now and then, but East Coast Sox a little bit more all around with Alabama, Mississippi, and a couple guys sprinkled in from Arkansas and a few other states. But this Smartens team pretty well just Georgia, with the exception of a couple guys out of Tennessee and I think one Oklahoma on the roster, but he's not in the lineup.
So we're allowed to hydrate on camera during this broadcast because
it's,
the intense
too
heat
hot
here in Metro Atlanta.
I made sure to sunblock my left side, so in case the sun gets a little lower, I don't get sunburn over here. There's the first pitch for a strike right there.
So Gavin Lockhart is pitching for East Coast Sox. He was not on the initial roster, so I'm not sure at what point they even added Graham Lockhart. He actually wasn't even on the roster going in, so I don't know if he was a player they added specifically for pitching today. But Graham out of Hoover High School in Alabama, that national power, 5'9", 135-pound right-hander. We've got him with a fastball, which is clearly outdated, around 70 miles an hour. We've already seen him getting close to 77. He's also got a curveball that sits 59-63. He is facing Rylan Jenkins, leading things off here for the Atlanta Braves scout team. Really special player at the top of the lineup here. Did an interview with Rylan last year about this time at a Washington County high school here in Georgia. He's the 3rd-ranked outfielder in the state, 8th overall. He's the 23rd-ranked outfielder in the nation, 84th overall. And you talk about impressive athletic bloodlines. The nephew of 4-time Pro Bowl defensive tackle Chris Jenkins, of course, therefore the cousin of current Bengals defensive tackle Chris Jenkins Jr. So this is a guy that can absolutely get it done, and we see him lead things off with a walk and set the stage for another talented player in Isaiah Cador.
Yeah, it's quite a 1-2 punch there at the top of the lineup for this team, and certainly have the speed to back it up. And this guy's not afraid to put something in the gap and just make some trouble. And there's a pass ball. It's going to already be a little bit of trouble there.
It may come as no surprise Rylan Jenkins can fly. You see him easily take second base off the wild pitch. Cador steps in. He is at a Union Grove High School, #1 ranked second baseman in Georgia, 7th overall in the class. He's the #1 second baseman in the nation, 75th overall. We don't see. We talked about this recently. A lot of the guys, these middle infielders, are all ranked as shortstops, and it seems like it's a rarity almost anymore that you get a high-level player who's ranked as a second baseman. But Isaiah Cador is exactly that.
Yeah, and he's real good. I mean, the #1 second baseman in the nation is.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
Stands 5'6", 157 pounds.
He's already nearly Altuve sized, so he's on the right track.
Well, he's got some speed at second, and Jenkins, who's got the Jordan 11 cleats on.
Oh, I like those.
Can't tell specifically, though, if they have the 45 or the 23 on the back of them. I have the version that has the 45 that came out. Those were a little bit more of a limited one.
Yeah. If I had to guess, considering there's cleats on the bottom of them,
23s.
They're probably 23s.
All right, Cato shores bunt. That's in for a strike. Makes it 3-2. Now make that 3-1 as our scoreboard is a little bit ahead of the action. If you've
Cory Otto real close to Jenkins there at short.
Another
Just
walk,
missed.
back-to-back walks by Lockhart to Jenkins and Cador, and that'll bring up Gavin Gebhardt.
Catcher's going to come out and have a word with the pitcher. During this time, I'd like to shout out our umpiring crew. We got a 4-man crew for these championship games. Behind the plate, that's Craig Howard calling the balls and strikes. First base, Camden Horner over there. You can almost see him. I don't think he's just out of frame there. And then second base, Chris Dinsmore. I was told to call him Chris Larry Dinsmore. And then over at third base is Sway Torres. So that's the crew. Going to be shouting them out throughout the broadcast.
Well, excited as always to have this United umpire crew working these games for us. These guys do a fantastic job, and I think this time of the year in particular, we watch them coming back from the games, and you just see the sweat pouring off of these guys, and it makes you value what they do that much more. Gavin Gephardt out of Cambridge. No outs, 2 on. Jenkins takes third. He'll take that bag easily as Kador takes second behind him.
Yeah, that's a huge asset that the top of this lineup has.
Insane speed.
Those two find their way on with walks to start this game and already find themselves in scoring position with a really, really strong bat here at the plate in Gephardt.
Yeah, not to be outdone, Gephardt runs a 6.860. Exit velo's 94 miles an hour. Gephardt misses inside. He's the 6th-ranked shortstop in Georgia in the class of 28, 17th overall. And followed by Daniel Biondo.
In the early goings here, Lockhart just struggling to find the zone. Misses again there.
Well, again, we don't know at what point on this roster he stepped in. He could have been an ad today to come in and pitch in this game. But to this point, Lockhart was not on the East Coast Sox 15U National Championship roster going into today. Another walk. He walks the bases loaded, nobody out, and that brings up Daniel Biondo, the 2025 future gamer. Go out here and have a word with Lockhart, who has struggled to find the strike zone easy. Yeah, that's going to be it.
Second time he's come out. So.
Wow, so a very quick pull here of Gavin Lockhart, the pitcher for East Coast Sox. So they're going to have a pitching change. We will tell you about a new arm much earlier than we expected when we come back from the 15U National Championship.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
2, 1.
New pitcher for East Coast Sox is Noah Scott out of Armory High School in Mississippi. He's the 2nd-ranked right-handed pitcher in the state, 13th overall. He's got a fastball around 84, changeup around 75 to 76, a curveball that sets 70 to 72, and a slider in the 69 to 74 range. Steps in with the bases loaded, and Daniel Biondo stepping into the plate. And this is a exciting matchup. Biondo had a chance to catch up with him yesterday, will be part of the Georgia roster for the 2025 future games. Asked him how he found out, and he said that he just got back catching this tournament. He had been out catching for a little bit, and Hudson Graham, Prep Baseball Georgia scouting director, went up to his dad and says, "Is he ready?" And he said, "Ready for what?" He said, "The future games." And that's how Daniel Biondo found out that he's going to be repping Georgia. He is absolutely stoked, and a guy that really prides himself on being a leader, but he has shown some ridiculous power at the plate. He
Some
puts that
hard
in
hit.
play, and that's going to get through and score 1 run. Does Biondo have a second RBI? He does, and just like that, the 2025 Future Gamer has the Atlanta Braves scout team on the board 2-0 here in the first. Oh, we got some more
man.
traffic. Heads up base running, advances the runner to third. They're going to have him at the corners now as Gebhardt backs up and goes to third.
I was about to compliment the speed of that 1-2
Wow.
punch of Rylan Jenkins and Isaiah Cador, and Gavin Gebhardt did not want to be left out right there. That's some heads-up base running. Great work, and a quick 2-0 lead here with no outs in the top of the first for the 15U National Championship.
So Biondo told me the guy that he's kind of modeled himself after in terms of catchers is JT Realmuto.
Love
Realmuto
that.
can get it done with the bat, and we just saw Biondo do the same. And he will now turn things over to Liam Collier, pitcher and first baseman. Liam, a guy that we have followed closely here and was actually in studio with him last year during one of our broadcasts. Was playing still high school ball for Union Grove, but he wanted to come up here, and Biondo taking off for second base.
Oh, man.
Runner goes home. The throw is
there? He's safe.
Oh, is close call at the plate,
Really
but he will be
close.
safe. Make it 3-0. That's not a throw we see a lot of times from the catcher when you got a guy going for second. But obviously a lot of faith in their ability to get that ball back home. They got it in time, but able to get through and score another run.
Yeah, I mean, they're almost lucky it was that close. It was a very late call to make that throw down, and it wasn't quite on the money, and could have gotten much more dangerous, but another run.
1-0 count now to Collier. Sends that one foul. As I mentioned, last year he was still playing high school ball for Union Grove, so he came in to watch his guys play during a early summer travel event and stepped in studio for us, and an absolute treat. I got to replay his first high school home run with him. It was a lot of fun, and he's another guy who will be here at the end of the summer, July 24th through 28th, through the 2025 Future Games.
Yeah, 4 guys on this squad, 2027s. Biondo, Cross Denard, Van Savage, and then Collier.
Well, it is an absolutely loaded team. We've had them throughout the last couple years at different points, and they just put on an absolute show every time we have them. And so far, so good as they lead 3-0 here in the top of the first with no outs.
Yeah, we had them in a tournament in the fall where they had it had been recent that they had done the merge with the Brave Scout Team and Smart Tents. We had Smart Tents the show versus Atlanta Braves Scout Team Smart Tents for a championship game that was all sorts of chaos. Another pass
Advances the
ball.
third, yeah.
Got to make sure we're covering these bases.
East Coast Sox just having a really hard time locating the strikes here early on, and Atlanta Braves Scout Team taking advantage as they have raced out to a 3-0 lead here in the first inning. Collier, by the way, the third-ranked first baseman in Georgia. He is 25th overall in the class of 2027. Number 10 at his position nationally, 297 overall in the class. One of those guys that will do the junior feature game to feature game transition here, as 2 years ago he was part of the junior feature games proceedings. He will make his way down to first base as another walk is issued by East Coast Sox pitching. Give us our first look at Chase Gockenbach out of Lakeway Christian School in Tennessee. Second-ranked third baseman in the Volunteer State. He's 11th overall. Also a 23 feature gamer, a junior feature gamer, excuse me.
Fairly sure that we saw him last spring with Seams up here, and I believe he was a stat leader one time that when I was posting those stat leader graphics.
Scott, another wild pitch. Runner will advance to second, so 2 more in scoring position now for Atlanta Braves Scout Team.
I think we can chalk that one up on a sweaty hand.
Yeah.
It's just going to happen out here in these kinds of conditions. Pitcher's got to try and keep his hand dry and give himself a good grip on the baseball.
Well, East Coast Sox bat's going to have their work cut out for them as they are already down 3-0 with no outs. Gockenbach fires that 92.8 off his bat. Center fielder on the run. He camps underneath it for the out, but runner will advance home as Biondo scores to make it 4-0.
Yeah, pretty solid start when the first 4 batters in the lineup all crossed the plate in the first inning.
Just one out here in the first, 4-0, runner at second. It's going to bring up Fisher Green. Daniel Biondo went yard a couple games ago in this tournament, so did Fisher Green. And this guy, ridiculous power out of Halls High School in Tennessee. He's the second-ranked shortstop in Tennessee, 3rd overall. He's 20th at the position nationally, 66th overall in the class of 2028. Guy who was here last summer for the junior feature games.
See if he can't knock in a run here and really extend this lead to a spot where I'm sure East Coast Sox didn't want to be in down 4-0. They certainly don't want to be down 5-0 with just one out here.
Holds off. I'm in awe of how much size Liam Collier has put on. When he came in here, if we were to go back and pull the footage, when he was in here with me in studio last spring, he was a svelte player at that point. I mean, you're talking about a guy who, he stands in at 6 foot. He's up to 200 pounds now.
Yeah, I think a big part of that is when you get to high school, and obviously he was already in high school last season, but when you've kind of stuck on that mid-season regimen of working out pretty regularly and staying in the weight room, it's just really easy to put on the pounds while you're playing.
Well, he has certainly done that and added to that frame, and I'm going to be excited to see him in action at the feature games this summer. Would anticipate there shortly after is going to be a lot of calls coming from coaches for one Liam Collier. 2-0 count now here to Green.
Got a piece of that one.
Right by the shortstop. Collier's going to make his way home. Does he get there in time? He certainly does. Make it 5-0 off the bat of Fisher Green, and RBI delivered for Atlanta Braves scout team.
Just a dream start to the championship game for Braves scout team here. Up 5-0 now in the top of the first, just one out.
5 runs on 2 hits as they have certainly struck early. And let's bring up Brooks DeRosa with one down. DeRosa out of North Gwinnett. He's the 11th ranked outfielder in 2028, 50th overall. Of course, the son of a 16-year MLB vet, MLB Network analyst, and USA coach for the World Baseball Classics, Mark DeRosa. Mark was previously coaching this Atlanta Braves scout team.
Yeah, you could see him getting real animated over there as the first base coach.
The Smart Tents coach is now doing a great job with these Atlanta Braves scout team players and have them playing for a 15U national championship. Runner takes off, bounces in front of the catcher, and he'll hold on.
Yeah, Atlanta Braves scout team, no stranger to scoring early and often. They put up 3 in the first inning against Kane's Midwest National in that semifinal. Followed it up with 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. So if this onslaught continues, don't be surprised.
Well, I mean, so this is their bracket play run. They beat top-tier Americans 15-5. DeRosa puts that down. Is that going into right field? It's going to drop down for a base hit. Brooks DeRosa's got himself an RBI, make it 6-0 off a one-out RBI single.
Wow. I mean, it just won't stop. These guys will not stop. And this very strong lineup from top to bottom is proving extremely, extremely worthy of its high billing.
As I was running through their bracket play run, they beat top-tier Americans 15-0, then beat Richmond Braves 9-0, beat Easley Baseball Club 14-0 to get them into today's games, and then were 7-3 winners over a really good Canes Midwest National team to earn their spot in the championship.
Yeah, now it's a 6-0 lead, so nothing new for these guys.
Well, I mean, as I said from the get-go, they have outscored their opponents 45-8 going in to bracket play, so they have been arguably the most dominant team here at this event.
Yeah. And despite the fact that we're at the second to last player in the order, Micah Vaughn is certainly nothing to look over as one of the best players in the state, 31st in the state for the class of 2028, and a 6.79 60. Just so much speed up and down this lineup as well.
It is incredibly impressive. Wasn't Micah was at the top prospects that you were at?
I believe so.
Yeah, well, a 6-0 lead for Atlanta Braves scout team, just one out here in the first inning. This an excruciatingly long tournament for these teams. This is the 10th game for both teams. Vaughn leads off, now has a 2-0 count here against Noah Scott. Second pitcher of this inning for East Coast Sox. Go over for Graham Lockhart. Misses low.
It's going to advance the runner.
Wild pitches and balls getting away from the backstop have been a real big issue for East Coast Sox here in the first inning. But credit to Atlanta Braves scout team for taking full advantage.
What they've been able to do just with runners in scoring position is unbelievable. Something that some major league teams could maybe take after.
Ones that wear the same uniforms as them?
Maybe. Or ones that lost to the team that wears the same uniforms as them.
Comes the 3-0 to Vaughn. Another miss, another walk. Make that 5 walks issued by East Coast Sox pitching.
Gonna have a meeting here. Try and just rally the troops a little bit here. I feel like you just got to bring the confidence up in any way possible. And they're going to do that via pitching change.
All right, so Noah Scott's going to exit. Another pitching change for East Coast Sox, and we will break down the new arm when we return from LakePoint Sports.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tella's Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at CartersvilleMuseumCity.com.
Michael Cornwell is the new arm for East Coast Sox. He is their third of the first inning, and we still have just one out as the Atlanta Braves scout team has raced to a 6-0 lead. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. And surprising, I think, is the optimum
definitely
word right now. I don't think we anticipated we would see a third pitcher with just one out here in the first inning. But the explosiveness of this Atlanta Braves scout team and the ability to take advantage of opportunities provided has really been the storyline thus far.
Yeah, they took advantage of the walks early on, and then they started peppering in the hits. They've taken advantage of a lot of passed balls, some great base running by them as well, and they find themselves kind of reaping the benefits of what they've done so well already.
Michael Cornwell, as I mentioned, is the new pitcher on the mound for East Coast Sox. Michael out of Dardanelle High School in Arkansas. 5'9", 130-pound righty. He's got a fastball around 74, curveball in the 62 to 64 range. And just like Noah Scott, who stepped in before him, he's in for a tough position here with more runners in scoring position, and Atlanta Braves scout team up 6-0 with one down. Last batter in the order, Evan Bansavage. Bansavage at a Lambert High School here in Georgia, 34th ranked outfielder in the state. He's 129 overall. After Bansavage is the top of the order, and Rylan Jenkins. Interesting arm angle here from Cornwell. So interesting conversation I had with the Atlanta Braves scout team coaches yesterday when I was doing the interview with Daniel Biondo. Teams have been throwing slow pitchers at them because they don't want to give them velo. So he was saying that they had a pitcher during pool play who threw 46 miles an hour.
Really?
Yeah, he said that they just have they don't want to get challenged with heat because they know they can hit fastballs. So they have seen a whole lot of different arms, and I would anticipate to this point that is to the biggest benefit you could possibly have when you get into a situation where teams are maybe having to go to a little bit deeper into their pitching lines to be able to get them through some of these deep games.
Yeah, but obviously not really proven to make much of a difference here. I mean, this Brave scout team, these are a lot of talented players, and what talented players do best is they can do more than one thing. It doesn't have to be 85 for these guys to hit a ball into the gap. It doesn't have to be 90 for them to feel like they can see it well. It can be 65, and they can just kind of get a poke out there past the shortstop or over the first baseman's head and bring guys around.
Or it can be 46 miles an hour and still make some damage. Now a 3-1 count. I guess a
towel.
Rosen, towel. Yeah. Michael Cornwell.
Probably something that everybody could have used up there.
Got to get him one with a Prep Baseball logo on it.
They
do sell those at the clubhouse store. 3-1 count now to Ben Savage. 1 down. Another walk. That has been big problem for East Coast Sox pitching. Make that number 7, here in the inning.
Now we're going to make it back around to the top with Ryland Jenkins.
My math skills are not great here on a Wednesday morning. That was the 6th walk. We had 3 by Lockhart, 2 by Scott, now 1 here by Cornwell. But again, top of the order now with Ryland Jenkins. Jenkins drew a walk in his first AB, would go around to score. All 5 of the number 1 through 5 batters for the Brave Scout team all scored.
That's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And only one of them, Biondo, had a hit, but all 5 did score. Their miss inside makes it 2-0.
Looks like Kalen Frederick's been holding down the pinch running duties in this game.
Yeah, Frederick was the subject of our Barnsley Resort Player Spotlight pregame. Flicks that foul. If you missed that, you can go back and find it on our social channels. A long first inning. Make it 3-1.
And at this point, Ryland Jenkins just wants to swing the bat.
Total 3 hits for Atlanta Braves Scout team as they have taken this 6-0 lead. Comes a 3-1 to Jenkins. Another miss inside, and he gets his 2nd walk of the game. Here comes another run as DeRosa crosses to make it 7-0 with 1 out here in the first.
Yeah, definitely unexpected would be the word to use. I mean, 3 pitchers, 7 runs, and still just 1 out to this point.
So with Jenkins aboard for the 2nd time, we get another look at Isaiah Cador, the nation's top-ranked second baseman. These guys at this point just looking to hit. We've had 2 walks issued to Jenkins, another is to Cador. Gephardt, the next batter, also walked, as did Liam Collier, Micah Vaughn, and Evan Ben Savage. That's in for a strike.
You can't really blame him for waiting on that one. Not much grounds to stand on for hitting right now. Oh, there's something.
Gets a hold of that, 83.1 off the bat.
Kind of an odd reaction from the pitcher.
Yeah, it makes you think that one dropped, and it did. Another run makes it 8-0. Cador's got himself an RBI and a base hit.
I wish we could have known what happened there, but all we know is that the ball did hit the ground, and another run passes home, makes it 8-0.
Well, I think the reaction from Cornwell on the mound told us everything we needed to know. Gavin Gephardt now steps in, 2 down.
They're blocked right now, but some bright cleats for Gephardt. You can kind of see him right there.
Sends it back foul.
I feel like we haven't seen a lot of foul balls. I know it's like a crazy thing to point out, but I just feel like that hasn't happened much.
Runners at the corners, an 8-0 lead for Atlanta Braves Scout team.
Now 2 outs, so East Coast Sox has the chance to make something happen.
Miss outside. So there was one down. So something happened when that ball was.
It must have been caught. I think what we were seeing is it was caught, and the runner at first retreated to first base. That might have been what we were.
Well, unfortunately, our
missing
camera didn't switch over, so we missed the action. That's going foul. Count is 1-2.
If I had to guess, Kador did pop out, and we saw Ryland Jenkins retreating to first base. I think that was where we were a little bit lost with our cameras not switching. Gebhardt down to 2 strikes. See if Cornwell can try and stop the bleeding.
It's the 1-2.
Real
Misses
close.
high. Count is even. If Gebhardt gets on, we'll get another shot of Daniel Biondo, who had a 2-run single in his first AB. Gebhardt swinging. Shortstop has it. Throws to first. Is it in time? It is, and that will bring an end to the inning, but Atlanta Braves scout team have raced out to an 8-0 lead over East Coast Sox. You are watching the finale of the 15U National Championships. We'll be back for more here shortly from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Two, one.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you after a very long top of the first inning. Liam Collier gets his first trip to the mound, and he will be facing Sawyer Jackson, Adam Corrado, and Kendall Willis for an East Coast Sox team that has their work cut out for them to try to eat into this lead in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, Liam Collier's been doing a lot of waiting to get up there on the mound. I'm sure he didn't think we'd be like 30 minutes into this game by the time he got up on the mound, but now he's there and he's going to get himself ready to go.
Well, Collier, as we mentioned when he was at the plate at Locust Grove, got a fastball around 84, and also changeup 72 to 75, a curveball in the 69 to 76 range, and a slider 73 to 74. And he has been spotted in an 8-0 lead, so plenty for to work with here. We get things started in the bottom of the first, and the first trip to the plate for East Coast Sox.
Yeah, I think with a lead like this, you kind of want to make sure that you go into it confident, but maybe not comfortable. If you pitch comfortable, you tend to feel okay making mistakes, and I don't think that should ever be the case up there on the mound. So I'm sure Collier knows what his mission is up there, and it's to get through these innings as fast as possible. Leadoff hitter Sawyer Jackson playing third base today for East Coast Sox National out of Hewitt-Trussville High School in Alabama. 5'10", 155-pound righty will step in to start things off. Everyone takes their places, and we are ready to roll. It's been a long time waiting for Sawyer Jackson to get his chance to lead off the game for East Coast Sox. Collier down the middle for a strike, 78.9 out of his hands. Another strike, and he is working quickly. Collier pitched yesterday 2 innings against Easley Baseball Club, 15 pitches. Misses outside. He also pitched on the 20th against the Cincinnati Angels. Just went 1 inning there, 22 pitches. Allowed 1 hit, struck out 1 yesterday's action. Let's get a 1-2 count now here to Sawyer Jackson. Yeah, running some pitch calm between Collier and Vaughn behind the plate. It's in play. His first baseman has it, flips to Collier. Did he get there? He did get there. 1 down. Some athleticism there from Liam Collier. That's great work by Collier. It's the advantage of being in the game and being a player that's kind of knows what he's doing all around the field, knowing that he's got to cover that base with everything he's gotten. Just barely made it there in time.
Adam Corrado's turn out of Peters Township in Pennsylvania. 5'8", 150
Very
pounder.
surprising to see some Pennsylvania in this roster.
Well, do you think of Mississippi and Alabama being the East Coast?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
They're not on the East Coast.
No.
They're in the East, and they're on the Gulf Coast.
Well,
Mississippi's barely.
Yes. Well, when the I'll wait for this pitch from Liam Collier. Mrs. High. When the Heisman Trophy started, it was players east of the Mississippi who were eligible for it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Mississippi River has been a dividing line for a very long time. And apparently it divides where you can call yourself East Coast Sox.
Now it's going to roll through.
Yeah, into left field for a base hit. East Coast Sox have a badly needed runner on. Now here comes Kendall Willis.
They're going to be searching for every single opportunity they can find, and they really just cannot afford to miss a single one of them. So we'll see what happens here to start.
Willis sends a first pitch back foul.
If this is Kendall Willis, we don't have that number for him on the roster, at least.
Well, that is who's listed on our lineup we were given. So if we have it wrong, we do apologize.
That's him.
That's Kendall Willis. Google has backed us up. That's Kendall Willis. Miss inside. I think the biggest thing for these East Coast Sox batters right now is the understanding that you can't change this game with one swing right now.
Yeah.
You just have to make Liam Collier work, take what you're given, and just try to move the line along.
Look, you've got 7 innings to make up this deficit. You can take your time here and just get them when you can. There's no rush to score 8 runs right now in the bottom of the first and be like, all right, we're going into the second with a tie ball game. It's going to be a grind. And if it's a win, it's going to be an emphatic comeback win. So give it time and pay its respect.
Drop third, but first base is occupied. So Kendall Willis is out. Now 2 down. Here comes Cameron Evans. Evans from Darndale High School in Arkansas. Bounces in front of the catcher, but runner will remain at first. One of the rarities when you look back in there and see the Champion Center without cars everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really only a midweek thing you'll ever see.
You know, we've seen so many people going through those doors there for the GHS 18 camps. We'll have our second run of the boys camps this weekend. I'm told this is the best weekend of it as well. Not to downplay last weekend's, but I'm told
I saw some pretty good players.
Well, I'm told all the big dogs in the state of Georgia will be in the house this weekend. So if you're able to get over to the Champion Center, this apparently is the weekend to do so. 2-1 count. Sends that foul.
Saw a number of top 100 ranked players in the nation.
Well, word is every Power 4 coach is expected, or someone from every Power 4 team is expected to be in the Champion Center during that.
There's certainly a lot to watch over there. It was a blast getting to spend some time over there and get some photos.
Comes a 2-1. Miss inside. Now 3-1 here to Evans. If he gets on, it's J.D. Boykin. Collier does miss. Evans draws the walk. J.B. Boykin now steps in with 2 on and 2 down.
See if Boykin can spark something here with 2 outs and Trying to start chipping away here.
He's a 6'2", 170-pound lefty out of Amory High School in Mississippi. Collier down the pipe. First lefty-lefty matchup we've seen for him.
Oh, big swing and a miss right there. Or did he foul? Oh,
I think he fouled that one back.
That camera change threw me off. But
well, the count is 0-2 nonetheless.
Bit of a desperation swing.
Collier on the 0-2. Oh, he hits him. Look at that. Even flips the ball back to him. That's some good sportsmanship now. Still saw an effort there from J.B. Boykin. And now here comes Trip Giangrosso. Excuse me. Trip Giangrosso. Giangrosso.
It could be John. It could be Gian.
I'm going Trip Giangrosso.
All right. Giangrosso it is. Well, let's see what he can do with bases loaded and 2 outs here.
Collier pumps in a strike inside, 69.2.
Certainly give your squad quite a boost of confidence in this situation.
Giangrosso jumps on that one. Gets past the second baseman into center field. Here comes one run, a second run for East Coast Sox. Runner will go to third. The throw is in time, and they get him, but not before 2 runs have scored. We now have an 8-2 game. East Coast Sox starting to eat into that Atlanta Braves scout team lead. We'll be back with more. You are watching the 15U National Championship Final from LakePoint Sports.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Our action continues on to the second inning of the finale of the 15U National Championship. Michael Cornwell is back on the mound for East Coast Sox, and he'll see Daniel Biondo, Liam Collier, and Chase Gockenbach. This Atlanta Braves scout team scored 8 runs in their first trip to the plate in the opening inning, and Daniel Biondo plated 2 of those off an RBI single. The 2025 Future Gamer is back to work.
Yeah, now with what you saw out of the offense from East Coast Sox, they're more than capable of putting some runs on the board. It may not have been 8 there in the first inning, but
little by little.
Yeah, there's something to fear there if you're the offense for Atlanta Braves scout team. So now it's about playing it smart and trying to keep running up the score and just keep holding that lead and trying to make it as unattainable as possible.
Now a 2-0 count here to Biondo. When I talked to him about his upcoming trip to the future games, he mentioned being from Denmark, obviously Gino Goralski, the LakePoint athlete. As that goes into left field, he's got 2 hits on the day now.
To the exact same spot.
Yeah. I asked Biondo if he's going to reach out to Gino about the future games or if he's going to kind of go into it with create his own experience with it. He says he's probably going to ask some guys just what to expect. So, but one of our LakePoint athletes, and Gino Goralski, is certainly a good resource for his high school teammate to ask about the upcoming future games.
Yeah, it's really nice to see kind of the lineage. All these guys are so connected throughout the years, and a moment like that where you really get a time in the spotlight it's nice to have a little bit of an idea of what you're walking into.
Cornwell starts Collier off with a strike. And you got Biondo at first off a leadoff single. Miss inside, runs the count even. Now 4 hits for Atlanta Braves scout team. It's kind of been the crux here for Cornwell early on, as those glove side misses. And there's another, makes the count 3-1.
And this Braves scout team should definitely be coming into these at-bats just being willing to be patient. You can play this slow from here on out after what you did in that first inning.
Comes a 3-1 to Collier. Another miss, another walk.
Looks like we'll have another meeting.
7 walks thus far issued by East Coast Sox pitching. Michael Cornwell's day is done after 26 pitches. He's credited with 2/3 of an inning, gave up 1 hit, 3 walks. Now that his day is over on the mound, a new pitcher steps in, and we'll tell you about him when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 Grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
Another pitching change for East Coast Sox. This will be their 4th pitcher as we are just in the 2nd inning. Here's they trail 8-2 against Atlanta Braves scout team. Madden Wood is now on the mound for Belmont High School, Mississippi, 2028.
Good name. Really good name. Madden Wood. I think the name Madden's just really good, obviously because of John Madden, but I think it makes for a good first name.
I think the dad is like really into the game.
Could be.
I hope so. This is Madden's first prep baseball event. He steps onto the mound of the 15U National Championship. His team trailing 8-2. Walks, again, have been the biggest issue facing this East Coast Sox pitching staff so far. They've allowed 4 hits, but meanwhile they have given up 8 walks. That really tells you everything you need to know about Atlanta Braves scout team having an 8-2 lead here in the 2nd inning.
Luckily for them, there's like 25 players listed on their roster. So if they've got that whole dugout,
yeah,
somebody's destined to show up and show out there on the mound.
Well, technically they have, what, 5 teams here at 15?
I think it's 4, yeah, 4 East Coast Sox teams.
So I think if they need arms, maybe you can make a quick call and get somebody who's got a similar-looking uniform in here to keep this game rolling along.
I mean, if they're quick and they're leaving from at least eastern Alabama, it could be as short as an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Well, we saw their offense fight back in the bottom of the first to score 2 runs. They just need their pitching to do its part here to limit this Atlanta Braves scout team. Again, they scored 8 runs in the first inning.
Yeah, Gawkenback coming to the plate. He was the first out of the first inning, but it was a sac fly that he hit it pretty well. I think it was 92 off the bat. So looking to maybe put one of those on the ground, see what happens.
Wood misses glove side. Seen some of the parents for the Atlanta Braves scout team, and you can see him in the background there, a guy with the gray shirt on and his hands on his hips. Gockenbach rips that 84.2, but that goes foul. And the mom there near the on-deck circle with the red and blue Braves shirt on. And I thought, for all these other travel teams that you kind of struggle, like what are you going to wear as a parent?
Yeah.
You have no troubles whatsoever if you're a parent of an Atlanta Braves scout team player.
Yeah, and luckily for them, just about everybody's from Braves country, so I'm sure everybody's got at least one piece of apparel.
The world is your merchandise oyster. Tags third. Does he get the throw down and first in time? Comes off the bag.
Past him, too.
So we'll have runners at the corners now as they're able to get the runner at third, but Gockenbach is going to be at first.
Yeah, he'll get aboard via the error, and that runner from second advances to third. So, yeah, did a little bit of damage control getting there, getting the out at third, but still a task at hand with just one out in the inning.
Well, runners at the corners for the dangerous Fisher Green, who's 1 for 1 with an RBI.
Seems like half of the lineup is.
Yeah. Ooh, Green's got to get out of the way of that one. Did it hit him? Oh, it did.
He says it hit him.
He's pulling him back.
Blue
He
says
says
not so fast.
No. He said, I didn't see it. Come on back here.
I kind of agree with Craig Howard there behind the plate.
Yeah, I didn't see it hit Green either. Mention the power displays, though, that we have seen out of this lineup. Fisher Green hit a monster home run on field 11, the field there in the background with the Red Top Brewhouse logo on the outfield wall. This guy can absolutely deliver. Runner taken off.
No.
Well, no, they'll hold it to the corners.
Seems like he would.
Everyone was ready for it except the runner. All right, 2-0 count here to Green.
Maybe just trying to get the third base runner to bite. Did that one hit him? Nope.
All right, 3-0. He's coming close.
Yeah. I think the umpires are saying, hey, if you don't move,
yeah,
you'd be on first base.
That's right. It's kind of the exact opposite of what we saw in the College World Series where guys were like literally leaning into pitches.
Oh, that one's well hit.
Green ropes that into the outfield.
It's going to get caught out there in center.
Runners will stay put. No, runner takes off after the tag up, makes it 9-0 as Collier crosses the plate.
He came in hard there, coming in home plate.
Bounced across the plate, but he's made it 9-2.
Quick conversation. Not sure. I think the umpire wants to talk with his team about something.
Well, fortunately, our camera did not switch, so we didn't get to see exactly what happened. We do know Atlanta Braves scout team did score another run as Liam Collier crossed the plate.
So what are we saying?
I think they just called him for a balk. And are they sending Liam Collier back to third?
Not necessarily sure what happened.
Okay, Liam Collier is going back to third. Fisher Green is at second.
Or is the runner... Who was already at second? Sorry, was that Gockenbach? I think he just returned to second.
Went to second.
And now
I'm
lost.
Fisher Green's at first base. The bases are loaded.
Okay. I got to admit, I'm pretty lost here. I'm going to put my full faith in Craig Howard and his team.
So when we move to our new studio, which is along the first base side of Field 10, we'll be able to go over there and quickly get
the
umpires
word.
to get them, maybe even have them come on camera and tell us the exact ruling of what happened. But there is one down, Fisher Green standing at first base, and it's 8-2 Atlanta Braves scout team. DeRosa sends that foul. Whatever happened, somebody had something to say about it.
Yeah.
And now we have the bases loaded with one out. And we took a run off the board. So make it 8-2. One count here to DeRosa.
I really wish that camera would have flipped. I think we'd be in a much better spot here if we knew.
One of the rare occasions where we're a little bit left in the dark. Well, DeRosa gets hit squarely in the back.
RBI, though.
And now Collier gets to slowly make his way across the plate as opposed to bouncing it like he did last time.
It's an RBI hit by pitch there for DeRosa. You see a mound visit. It's the first visit, but I don't know if coach is going to give anybody a long leash in the position they found themselves in.
Micah Vaughn waiting in the on-deck circle. And we're calling somebody in from left field. Let's see if that's going to be it for Wood.
He's asking, are you ready out there? He's not getting a clear answer. What do we got?
Well, we've got a 9-2 lead for Atlanta Braves scout team. We've got the bases loaded. We've got one out. And there's the handoff, and we will have another pitching change. So another change in arms here for East Coast Sox, which means another commercial break for us in studio. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
J.B. Boykin is the new pitcher for East Coast Sox. He is the fifth arm that they have thrown out here, as we said, in the second inning, and they trail Atlanta Braves scout team 9-2 here in the championship game of the 15U National Championships. Micah Vaughn steps in. Atlanta Braves scout team have 9 runs on 4 hits so far. They have absolutely taken advantage of walks issued by this East Coast Sox pitching staff. First pitch goes back foul.
So that is not Boykin. He is wearing number 1. They had 2 number 1s on the roster. This is William Vukovic, who's batting last in the lineup. He takes over on the mound. Him and Boykin both wearing the number 1 jersey. That one's hit on the ground.
Yeah, Vaughn puts that in play. Comes a run across. So they do get an out, but makes it 10-2 here in the second. A little bit of pixelation right there when the play was made. But William Vukovic, as you mentioned, on Montgomery Catholic High School in Alabama, 6'2", 174-pound right-hander. We actually don't have any of the pitching metrics on him. This is his second prep baseball event. Also played in NPI.
Just a couple weeks ago. Let's see what we've got from Evan Bansavage, see if the onslaught continues.
Misses to make it 1-0.
Comes that 1-0 pitch.
Skies that into the right field gap. Is it going to be down? It's caught by the right fielder. And that will bring an end to the inning. But Atlanta Braves scout team have extended their lead to 10-2 as we move to the bottom of the second. We'll be back from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. Cory, McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. Liam Collier returns on the mound after another long offensive inning for Atlanta Braves scout team. They lead 10-2. They scored 8 runs in the first inning, added 2 more in the top of the second. East Coast Sox will send Caleb Coover, Bryce Bukovic, and William Vukovic to the plate here in this inning. Bukovic and Vukovic. It makes quite the tongue twister, and they put them back-to-back in the lineup.
It definitely could get tricky.
Still trying to get through this East Coast Sox lineup for the first time. They did score 2 runs on 2 hits in their first inning, trying to answer the explosiveness of this Brave scout team, who is, we've mentioned multiple times here, taking full advantage of the walks issued by this East Coast Sox pitching staff thus far. They've been walked 8 times. Caleb Coover from Collierville, Tennessee, 2028, 5'10", 165-pound righty steps in against Liam Collier. Locust Grove swings through that for a strike. We didn't see a whole lot of...
Cornwell. Looks like Cornwell. We're number 10. Not sure what the change was there.
It is Cornwell, and he sends that to Kador. Throws in time for the out. There's probably some changes made off the initial lineup after all the pitching changes. We are expecting Bryce Bukovic here. We'll see if that
looks like that's him. Number 8.
Well, Bryce is the 4th-ranked second baseman in Mississippi. He is 41st overall in the class of 2028 out of Hartfield High School. Exit velos are on 91.6. He's one of 3 ranked players on this East Coast Sox team. Makes it 1-1.
Liam Collier must have a extensive stretching routine planned for in between these innings when he's not batting as well.
It's a 1-1 from Collier.
Just
just misses. Count is 2-1 here to Bukovic. He sends that foul. He will be followed by William Vukovic. I almost want to say Willem Vukovic, but
looking for that alliteration.
Yeah, William Vukovic is in the on-deck circle. Took over as the 5th pitcher for East Coast Sox. Ooh, that was nasty stuff as he goes down on strikes.
I don't think he was ready for the breaking ball, but that had some beautiful movement. Just buckled the knees, and I think we'll call that one a sword.
Well, the blacksmith, Liam Collier, steps in with 2 down against his now opposing pitcher, William Vukovic. First pitch swinging, and that goes foul.
Collier looking to not give up any runs here and go into the 3rd with that 8-run lead that they once held.
Mentioned to you during the commercial break that Vukovic has seen a lot of action on the mound already in this tournament. 4 days ago, he threw 95 pitches in 5 innings against ATL Lightning. Allowed 2 runs, 4 strikeouts. So it does make you wonder, how deep can he go into this game after throwing nearly 100 pitches 4 days ago? This is outside.
A little bit of acrobatics there from Micah Vaughn behind the plate.
Heard last night this is expected to be the hottest day of the week.
I'm not surprised. It feels like it.
Miss outside. I've got a concert tonight, so I need it to like drop about 15 to 20 degrees.
If you don't mind.
Going to see Dave Matthews Band. So this is like our 30th time seeing Dave Matthews Band. Yeah. First time I saw them was in 1997.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been going to see them for a long time. Dribbler. Shortstop has it, throws, athletic play, gets away from the first baseman, so Vukovic will be aboard. And now Joshua Martin, the catcher, will get a chance.
Yeah, Gebhardt did a great job fielding that ball and getting the ball out. Just kind of put it in what I would consider the dead zone for the first baseman, where you can't really make a scoop and you really got to catch it low there on the ground. It was a tough play over there at first base, but it extends the inning for East Coast Sox.
Well, Joshua Martin, the catcher, is looking for any opportunity to stay out of that crouch position as long as he possibly can. We see a courtesy runner come in for the pitcher. Martin, out of Auburn High School in Alabama, steps in with 1 on and 2 down.
Ginger jog there across the field. Still not to the dugout yet, but we'll get things rolling.
Misses outside.
Micah Vaughn's really smooth back there on the knee pads. Just kind of slides around.
Vaughn primarily a shortstop, but he has been awfully strong behind the plate so far for this Brave Scout team. Misses high, counts now 2-0. Yeah, but I'm expecting some sweltering heat tonight at this show at Ameris Amphitheater here in Alpharetta.
Yeah. To that point of the year as well where it doesn't really get that much cooler. I mean, like once you get like really late, it'll get cooler. It'll get maybe into the 70s if you're lucky, and probably more realistically low 80s, but it'll stay in the 90s until 7 or 8 o'clock.
Issues a walk here to Martin, so he'll be aboard, and I bet he doesn't stay there long, as I'm expecting another courtesy runner for the catcher. We'll see if that is indeed the case. Is Martin going to run for himself?
He might just.
And here comes a courtesy runner for the catcher. So pitcher and catcher consecutively get their courtesy runners at first base. And now we are to the top of the order. Sawyer Jackson getting his second opportunity.
When they went down 8-0 in the first inning, I didn't expect them to show up with this kind of confidence that they've showed offensively. They've looked good. I know they only have 2 runs on the board, but 2 runs through almost 2 innings is not bad to see. In most cases, you'd be pretty happy with that outcome. And I think they kind of have some things to be happy about. They've done just fine offensively. It hasn't been explosive. It obviously hasn't worded 10 runs, but they've still put in a solid effort, and they're going to continue to do so throughout this game.
Well, they've only been out-hit 4-2 thus far. Runners will both advance off the wild pitch.
Lackadaisical toss there from Liam Collier.
Well, you mentioned it when Collier took the mound for the first time. You don't want to get a little bit too relaxed as a pitcher with a big lead, but I think there's obviously mental hurdles to get over there when you look up at the scoreboard and see you're up that high. Another walk, so the bases will now be loaded as Adam Carreno steps in.
Yeah, the benefit that Collier has is he's got a little bit of a longer leash here. They're going to come out and talk to him. But I doubt he leaves this game right now. Come out.
Liam Collier is in fact going to leave, so he exits with the bases loaded and 2 down here in the bottom of the second inning. A pitching change for Atlanta Braves scout team. And we will tell you about the new pitcher. We'll be right back from LakePoint Sports.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast. All while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
A.J. Hickox takes over for Liam Collier on the mound for Atlanta Braves scout team as we move along here. The bases loaded, 2 outs in the bottom of the second inning, the 15U National Championship final. Atlanta Braves scout team up 10-2. Hickox with a nasty breaking ball. Ooh.
Thought he might have caught it there.
Wayne County High School 2028. Got a fastball around 80 miles an hour. That wicked curveball you just saw in the 62 to 63 range.
I said it in the break, but hoping that Liam was just kind of ready to come out of this one. 'Cause it seemed like he had slowed down the velo a bit. And he's going to get the tag there for the final out. That's a risky play. You might have that runner cross, and because you didn't get the force out, it could cause some trouble. But he gets the out before the run crosses the plate.
Remains 10-2 Atlanta Braves scout team. We will return shortly from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at TELUS Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
Our LakePoint Sports photographers deliver at the highest level, taking you inside the action here across campus. We've got game day covered, and now you can not only see your game through our lens, but you can purchase photos as well. Just use a QR code on screen for the latest images, galleries uploaded after the completion of tournaments and events. You can also go to LakePointSports.com for more information or any of our social channels. I am told the 15U National Championship photos are uploaded, and we will have more coming from this game and previous games across the tournament in the next day or so. So get on there now, and you'll see plenty more from the 15U National Championship coming your way. Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. Rylan Jenkins, the leadoff hitter, at the plate for the third time for Atlanta Braves scout team, as we said in the third inning. 1 from Vukovic. Now it makes that 1-1. Yeah, it just misses. As I mentioned during Vukovic's AB, he threw 95 pitches in his last appearance.
Smoked.
Yeah, Jenkins gets a hold of that. 95.4 off the bat. Looks like it's going to be extra bases from Rylan Jenkins. He will hold at second. Nope, he's making his way to
coach
third.
Wasn't there
Rylan
yet,
Jenkins scoots into third base. Man, he was absolutely flying as that one went to the warning track in the right field gap, and he is aboard with a leadoff triple here to start off the third.
I hope everybody else notices third base coach running through the field to get over there to third base to try and give him some direction.
Whew.
Got there just in time to give him a high five and say, good job. I'm here now to help.
Jenkins has his first hit. He's been walked twice before that. Here's Isaiah Cador.
Looks like something might have fallen off. And while he was running around, he got tossed to our umpire there at second base, Chris Densmore. He's going to hand it back off to Jenkins.
Kador 0 for 1. He also walked as an RBI. Holds off, makes it 1-0.
Yeah, he hit the sac fly. He brought a run across last inning.
It's in play. Second baseman has it. Throws.
He's
They get
fast.
Kador at first, but
really close.
Ryland Jenkins does score, makes it 11-2 here in the third.
Kador was storming down the first baseline right there. Good work, though, by East Coast Sox. Just go ahead and get that out.
Now Gavin Gephardt. He is 0 for 1 as well. Also walked. Vukovic not missing by much. Again, we saw walks being a big issue for the East Coast Sox pitchers to get us to the point where they bring Vukovic into this game. Misses high, makes it 2-0. And that's not my fault that he's missed on 2 pitches after I say that.
We've seen a relatively tight zone behind the plate from our home plate umpire, Craig Howard, but it has been consistent. I will give him credit where it's due.
Third base coach just made his way across again. Where was he?
I think he was handing off some equipment that got put in his
gotcha.
hands. Tried to frame it there, but just misses high, and it's going to give the free pass to Gebhardt.
All right, that'll bring up Daniel Biondo. Biondo is 2 for 1.
2 for 2.
2 for 2. He is 2 for 2. 2 for 2.
2
2
RBIs.
RBIs. Had a 2-run single in his first trip to the plate. Ripped one down the third base side for another hit.
Got another duck on the pond to play with again, so see what he can do here.
Biondo fresh off making the Georgia roster for the future games, making a play for Publix Player of the Game here as we sit in the third inning.
Certainly delivered a moment that mattered as well. So,
well, with the last game we had,
yeah.
It was both filled by the same player. So always open for more entries as this game rolls along. But Daniel Biondo making his play for everything here. The Atlanta Braves scout team up 11-2 in the third.
Trying to extend the 9-run lead. Runner goes, easily going to make it in there. No throw.
So another run in scoring position for Biondo.
Gebhardt once again showing off some good base running skills.
Vukovic with the 3-0 to Biondo. Oh, man, he gets a hold of that 90.0 well off his bat. It's into left field, and it is caught. A very loud out for Daniel Biondo. Just missed another home run. His runner will retreat to second, and, man, he went up and got a pitch that looked like it was destined to go over the fence, but nonetheless will be the second out of the inning.
Yeah, I think he just had to swing up a little bit too much. Got a little bit too under that one. Launch angle a little higher than it needed to leave the park, but solid swing on the end of that one from Biondo. Trying to cement player of the game early on.
Liam Collier's now up. He's got 2 walks.
These Brave Scout Team guys must have found out that we're giving out a Publix gift card to the player.
There you
of the
go.
game.
Yeah, $20 Publix gift card. So the last game we did these, I thought for sure we were going to get a player giving me his Publix sub order, and he told me he goes to Publix for the sushi.
Which I can't knock. I've
had
been
Publix
known
sushi,
to do so.
1-1 count here to Collier. Well, we did wonder what happens if it's a player who does not have a Publix nearby, but we have Publix nearby us as Liam Collier drops that into center field. The runner will make his way home. In fact, he gets across the plate. Yep, makes it 12-2 as Liam Collier comes through with an RBI.
That was the most nonchalant go sign there at third base.
Yeah.
Just pointing home for Gebhardt. And he makes his way around again.
Now Gockenbach, he's got an RBI as well. It's 0 for 2, but did drive in a run.
10-run lead here in the top of the third.
That's a strike. Fisher Green in the on-deck circle. Vukovic has certainly changed the complexity of the game on the mound for East Coast Sox. After they issued so many walks, we've seen now 12 runs on 6 hits for Atlanta Braves scout team, but Vukovic has 1 walk down in his credit, but he thus far has been filling the strike zone by and large. Miss makes it 3-1. I think you have to monitor this pitch count with him. Next pitch will be the 23rd, getting through 95 pitches 4 days ago. Another miss, and there is another walk issued by East Coast Sox pitching. So runners at first and second for Fisher Green.
Yeah, walk number 10 for this staff.
Green is 1 for 1. That's a strike. So 0-1 to Green. That one's going to miss high. The 1-1, and that's going to miss, makes it 2-1.
Getting back into that dangerous territory where you just struggle to find the zone.
He is the 5th pitcher for East Coast Sox in this game. Fisher Green ropes that 75.4 off his bat, and that will be caught by the right fielder. And that will bring an end to the inning. Atlanta Braves scout team, though, they are up 12-2 as we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning. You are watching the 15U National Championship Final from LakePoint Sports.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Tellus Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast. All while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson Rosen with you. AJ Hickox returns on the mound for Atlanta Braves scout team, who lead 12-2 here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We will see Kendall Willis, Cameron Evans, and J.B. Boykin at the plate for East Coast Sox here in the bottom of the 3rd. Their offense has put up a fight, but they just have 2 runs to show for it thus far. And got to put something together here as we're getting a little bit closer into that run rule territory as this game rolls on.
Yeah, Hickok's biggest job here is just probably try to work efficiently. You mentioned in the break he hasn't thrown a pitch yet in this event, so he's a fresh arm, and that's hard thing to come by in game number 10 of the tournament. So use your fresh arm to your advantage and try and get as much as you can out of them. Just missed there.
Kendall Willis, Conway Christian, Arkansas. He is 0 for 1. He's got a 3-0 count. Now he's got a 3-0 count.
Yeah.
We can, of course, see the future here on these broadcasts.
It's just one of those skills you pick up along
That's
the way.
right.
That one caught
That's
the
a
zone.
strike. He's got to go back and get the bat after the long toss.
It's one of those moments where you just have that instant regret. As
Yeah.
soon as you let go of the bat, you're like, oh, man.
All right, well, 3-1 count. We'll see if he gets the bat toss again. And he does. Now he
Now
gets a
he
little
gets
bit
to do
more on
it.
it. He didn't go quite as far as the last one, but he is aboard via a leadoff walk. Now here's Cameron Evans.
No, I think we might have had another substitution. That is Jackson Konesetter. It's a complete guess on the pronunciation there for the last name.
Koenigsetter.
All right.
Jackson Koenigsetter. Atkins, Arkansas. He's got an 0-2 count here in his first trip to the plate against Hickox.
See what Hickox has to offer. You'd love to see a ground ball here, trying to set up a double play.
Oh, nasty pitch, but it will, in fact, go outside. Makes it 1-2.
That would have been a perfect one to put something on the ground with.
Yep.
See what he goes for here.
Another miss, runs it even.
Yeah, Koenigsetter's not going to bite on that one. You got to put it down the middle if you want to get something out of him right now.
He does have a pitch to give. Let's see if he goes back to that breaking ball.
Oh, just missed
Yeah,
high.
tries to squeeze it. Vaughn has done a great job behind the plate, but he can't get the strike there on the pull down. Count is full.
Feels like Craig Howard's not falling for the framework
No.
today. Oh, just missed outside as well.
So back-to-back walks by Hickox. Adam Corrado now steps in with runners at first and second.
I think we might
That
have made-
cannot be Adam Corrado, who is listed at 5'8", 150 pounds.
I don't think so.
No.
I believe that's Jackson Ross.
I believe it is too. Jackson Ross is listed at 6'1", 300 pounds. Starting offensive lineman for this
Yeah.
East Coast Sox team for sure. Playing left tackle.
Looks like a beast.
Out of Ozark High School in Arkansas.
Nice.
Yeah. Not the Ozarks with Jason Bateman
Yeah.
and all that. Yeah.
I hope not.
Yeah. Well, that's supposed to be Missouri, but it was
Yeah.
obviously shot here locally in Metro Atlanta. Puts it in play. Shortstop on the long run has it. So Ross flies out. Runner will retreat to first base. Have him at first and second now with one out.
I was hoping to see maybe a good ride on one from Jackson Ross.
Yeah, looks
but
like he's got some power, but just gets underneath that one. It'll be one down. So getting some guys some ABs here, it looks like, late in this game.
I mean, why not?
This is still Trip Giangrosso. Giangrosso's last name is a Trip.
Yeah, it is a bit of a trip. Catches the outside half there this time.
Giangrosso, Hewitt, Trustville, Alabama, 2028. He's got runners to first and second, one out.
Certainly a great opportunity for East Coast Sox to start breaking back into the lead. It was once an 8-0 game, then 8-2. We saw 10-2, now 12-2. That's what they stare at.
If you are new to our championship games here at LakePoint Sports, we do not play via clock. While we do that throughout pool play, we do not do that here for the championship game. So this will either go 7 innings, or if we have a big enough lead, we will see this end via run rule.
I'm sure these guys maybe wish we were on a a time limit with how hot it is out there.
Yeah.
And now the sun's really kind of straight up in the sky. So it is just beating down on them over there on field 10.
Managing to keep your leg out of the sun.
Yeah, I lucked out. I did throw some sunscreen on there just in case, but there's a strike.
That's a strike. We
Man,
get
him again.
again.
Freeze. Yep, good work. At least he didn't throw the bat too far away.
Yeah, that one didn't go quite as far.
And he had Michael Cornwell to help him out.
Regroups and steps back in. Gene Grosso has a full count here with 1 out.
Craig Howard's going to get real used to calling the guys back to the plate.
Yep.
Now,
yeah. That one was emphatic.
Now we're getting emphatic.
So the bases will now be loaded for Caleb Coover.
Just let these guys have some fun.
I'll say Coover, but you had already mentioned that his spot in the order had been taken over by Michael Cornwell. So we never actually got to see Coover at the plate. Cornwell, first pitch, sends that one into left center. Left fielder has it. Runner takes
jump.
off. Oh, no, they're
Late
going to have him
jump.
in between the third and home. He will retreat.
Yeah, he made a real late decision to leave third base. Good work just getting back, though.
Yeah. So unable to score a run off that deep ball into left center. So now be 2 down. As we'll see Bryce Bukovic 0 for 1. Bukovic first pitch swinging, and that one will
hit our studio maybe.
Yeah, it's going to come close. So we've already talked about with our facilities team about putting a net over top of that so we don't get
that's going to be
bombarded.
essential.
Yeah.
Or you guys are also going to hear it on every broadcast when we get a foul ball straight on the
or you'll see our reactions, which will probably be priceless.
Yeah, I might scream.
We'll add it to the blooper reel.
I like it,
Yeah, I mean, Mason, you'll be screaming back there, too. You just better hope your mic's muted.
Count is 0-2.
See what Hickox has. Let's try and get him out of the third.
Oh, just misses. Count is 1-2.
Michael Vaughn was ready to toss that one down to his third baseman.
That's in play. Third baseman has it, throws to second, touches the bag, and that will end the inning. Atlanta Braves scout team still up 12-2. We'll see the 4th inning when we return from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
What started out with 168 teams is now down to the Atlanta Braves scout team and East Coast Sox here in the finale of the 15U National Championship from LakePoint Sports. Atlanta Braves scout team has raced out to a 12-2 lead in this one. They scored 8 runs in the first inning, 2 more in the second, 2 more in the third. See what we have in store here in the 4th inning, as they had just been so explosive at the plate and taken advantage of every opportunity provided by this East Coast Sox pitching staff. I believe we had another pitching change for East Coast Sox.
Looks like we might.
Yeah, William Vukovic's day is done. Again, he had thrown 95 pitches before this in his previous outing.
One of 2 players. It is either Sawyer Jackson or Jackson Kennedy, both listed as number 4. That looks like Sawyer Jackson's jersey.
Sawyer Jackson started off playing third base, and so he will be on the mound.
Despite us being on our 6th pitcher of the day for East Coast Sox, haven't seen a lefty out of him.
The Prep Baseball profile for Sawyer Jackson does not list any pitching stats.
Well, maybe he's going to get off on the right foot here. It's a tough lineup to do so, though.
Well, he's going to face Brooks DeRosa, Micah Vaughn, and Evan Bansavage. So the 8, 9, and 10 hitters for Atlanta Braves scout team will be up here in the 4th. DeRosa is 1 for 1.
Still a certainly feared bunch.
Yeah, he's got 2 RBI. They have collectively gotten 6 hits for their 12 runs.
Swing and a miss right there from DeRosa. You mentioned earlier Liam Collier and how much size he's put on. DeRosa looks much bigger this year as opposed to last spring when we saw him out here.
North Gwinnett 2028. I mentioned his dad, Mark, had previously been coaching this team, but certainly has his hands full with his MLB network obligations and coaching the United States team in the upcoming World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, busy man. One of my personal favorites in the coverage of Major League Baseball.
Yeah, does a great job. 2-2 goes foul. Yeah, it's hard to beat that morning show with him, Robert Flores, and Lauren Shahadi.
Yeah.
And they do such a fantastic job with their swing and swing breakdowns on those shows. It's just obviously next level stuff. DeRosa puts that in play, and that's going to get past the third baseman, and he's got himself another hit.
Seemed like he wasn't really thinking too on that one, so didn't really give himself the chance for extra bases there, but he'll take a single to lead things off here, and Atlanta Braves scout team looking to just keep running it up.
So Brooks DeRosa is 2 for 2 with 2 RBI. Also drew a walk. Now here comes Micah Vaughn. Vaughn is 0 for 1 with a walk.
Seeing him holding it down behind the plate.
Vaughn sends a first pitch back foul.
Seemed like he wasn't quite ready to roll there, but go through some pre-swing superstitions, it appears, and get back to it.
Vaughn rips that. Will get past the shortstop into center field as DeRosa makes his way to second. 90.3 off the bat of Vaughn.
Move his guy 90 feet and go back to the dugout.
Gets his courtesy runner. That will,
I think, Kalen Frederick again, maybe. It was courtesy running for him.
Evan Bansavage, the last batter in the order for Atlanta Braves scout team. 0 for 1 with a walk.
You can't really ask for much more out of this bottom 3 in this lineup. I know Bansavage, he drew the walk the one time up, and he did record an out, but you've got DeRosa 2 for 2 in this game with 2 RBIs. Micah Vaughn 1 for 2 now with an RBI.
Got some wrist tape on the arm there of Sawyer Jackson, so we'll remove that.
Maybe this is going to help him out. Maybe that wrist tape was just counterbalancing or something. That's all that was going on.
All right, there's nobody out. Runners at first and second.
Evan Bansavage trying to add on here in the 4th inning.
Kind of a Matt Olson-esque setup here for Bansavage.
Yeah, despite the Marcelo Zuna-esque arm sleeve.
Yeah. Well, he's an amalgamum of Braves players.
Matt Olson, not a bad guy to emulate. Especially if you're playing first base. Saw a stat, he's got 12 defensive runs saved.
Wow.
And amongst all MLB first basemen, the next highest is 7.
Well, certainly a special player defensively. Multi-time Gold Glove winner.
He's got the longest active on-base streak as well in Major League Baseball. I believe he's looking at 25 games.
Wow.
So if Bansavage wants to continue the Matt Olson comparison, he's welcome to.
3-0 count here to Bansavage. This is high, and he'll draw a walk. Interesting conversation I had with Matt Olson when he first arrived in Atlanta was getting used to the amount of foul space.
Yeah, it's
foul
big
territory as opposed to what he had out in Oakland. Where you have the bullpens in foul territory. He had so much more room to work with. And just getting used to the fact that he didn't have to quite cover as much ground.
Yeah, a slow, somber walk to the mound. And that ball is being offered up for the seventh
Yeah,
time?
Sawyer Jackson just took his athletic tape off of his arm, but now he's exiting, and we're going to have another pitching change for East Coast Sox. We'll break down this new arm when we come back from the 15U National Championship Final.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
The seventh pitcher steps in this game for East Coast Sox, and pretty sure our box score has the wrong name here pitching in this one.
It's Graham Lockhart manning the mound.
Graham Lockhart started this game.
Well, that's Graham Lockhart. I mean, I read it on his jersey.
Yeah, Graham Lockhart was the starting pitcher in this game for East Coast Sox.
I mean, that's just not allowed, to my knowledge.
If you if you throw enough pitchers out there, does the other team forget who was out there?
I mean, did our umpiring crew also forget? I mean, this is just simply.
I mean, that is literally the same guy who started this game.
Yeah. Very confused right now, I must admit. Not quite sure how that happens. We've got a number of questions to ask when this game is over.
Yeah. All right, well, nonetheless, it's a 2-1 count. We've got Rylan Jenkins into the plate for the fourth time in this game. Do you think maybe they just put his jersey on somebody else?
Maybe. I don't know, but he's going to issue the walk for another run.
Third walk of the game for Rylan Jenkins. And a now 13-2 lead for Atlanta Braves scout team here in the fourth. Isaiah Cador, he's walked as well. 0 for 2.
Puts that one hard hit on the ground.
Gets through, second baseman. He gets the play at first, bobbled ball, but able to make the play, but another run does score.
Got yourself an out here, but now down 12 runs, and now you got to start thinking about that 15 after 4 run rule scenario. If Gebhardt comes around to score, and so do the two teammates ahead of him, then you will be in run rule territory, and your back's against the wall here in the bottom of this fourth inning.
Gavin Gebhardt is 0 for 1, but he has walked twice.
I mean, Cador, 0 for 3, 3 RBIs in this game. Still doing the work. That one's hit well out to right. Not going to see it. And it looks like a drop because he did not tag
It did.
up.
Here comes the run.
Flying.
Yeah, Gebhardt is absolutely coasting past second base. He's going to make his way into third, and he's got a 2-run triple. And the Land Brave Scout team has extended their lead with 1 out here in the 4th.
Yeah, make that a 14-run lead. So, once again, you're looking into the eyes of that potential 15 after 4 run rule. And who else but Daniel Biondo to come to the plate right now?
Yeah, 2 for 3, 2 RBI. If he can score Gebhardt, we are in run rule territory heading to the bottom of the 4th inning. That's a strike.
We already mentioned it. I mean, if Biondo is able to knock this one in, he's might be walking away from this tournament with a ring and a $20 Publix gift card.
That's the combination right there.
It's going to get foul.
Don't hit this studio.
Last thing we need is dents on it before we're even in there.
Yeah, we have to put padding around that thing.
Just bubble wrap it.
Yeah. We'll get like a packaging store, like FedEx, FedEx shipping store. It's the 0-2 to Biondo. Sends that one down, same trajectory.
I think that one caught some net, though.
What a nice conversation with Daniel. Last thing I want to do is to put some dents in our new studio. Is the 0-2?
He's going to hold on.
Oh, it gets the punch out. Biondo goes down on strikes, make it 2 out here in the inning.
Now it falls on to Liam Collier to try and set them up for a potential run rule scenario in the bottom of the 4th.
Collier is 1 for 1. He's got RBI, 2 walks. I mean, this has to be the most loaded box score I think I've ever seen in one of these games.
Pretty unbelievable.
Collier sends that down the third base side foul. Counts 0-2. Key moment here. If East Coast Sox want to try to extend this game past the bottom of this inning. Can they keep Atlanta Braves scout team from taking that 15-run lead? Gets the punch out. Back-to-back strikeouts will end the inning. Atlanta Braves scout team leads 16-2. Bottom of the 4th inning awaits when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Hot summer days call for cool adventures in Cartersville, Museum City. Beat the heat indoors with jaw-dropping exhibits at Telus Science Museum and the Savoy Automobile Museum. Hit the water at Terminus Wake Park, kayak the Etowah River, or head to Lake Allatoona for fishing, boating, and unbeatable lake days. When the sun sets, head downtown for live music, delicious eats, and local flavors. From family fun to date nights, summer memories start here. Plan your trip today at cartersvillemuseumcity.com.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. 16-2 lead for Atlanta Braves scout team in the bottom of the 4th inning, and we have a pitching change for Atlanta Braves scout team. Gavin Gebhardt just after his 2-run triple, is going to step in and take over on the mound for A.J. Hickox. Gephardt, the 6th-ranked shortstop in Georgia, 17th overall in the class, going to get a chance on the mound here, the Cambridge 2028. We're at in the order for East Coast Sox. We're going to see William Vukovich, Joshua Martin, and then top of the order with Sawyer Jackson. Got Gephardt with a fastball around 88.4. He got pretty close to there. That on that offering. Change up around 71, 72. Curveball 66 to 69, and a slider in the 69 to 72 range.
It's quite the asset to be able to pull out here in, the in a game where you have a 14-run lead in the 4th inning.
He's got a slider with a 2,500 spin.
Wow.
Nearly 2,400 spin on his fastball. He's a guy who knows how to ratchet it up. See if he can pretty much slam the door for Atlanta Braves scout team here.
Technically, East Coast Sox will get 2 chances to hit, but Gephardt certainly looking to keep things reeled in.
Whew.
Yeah,
Pumps
there's
that in
heat.
88.2.
There's the heat.
If the Atlanta Braves scout team had scored 1 more run in the top of this inning, we would be in run rule territory here in the bottom of the 4th, but back-to-back strikeouts denied that.
91.
Wow. All right, a new high here for Gavin Gephardt.
Oh, man. Must be feeling himself coming off that trip. I just saw him give him a little smile to the scoreboard when he saw that 91 up there.
He has not pitched in this tournament.
Well, it's quite a way to start. See what he's got here on 0-2. 91-1, but he misses.
Wow. Well, the Cambridge 2028 is putting on a show on the mound after that.
It's those cleats, man.
Yeah, after that 2-run triple.
See what he's got here. 89.
That is in play. Second baseman Kador has it, throws in time for the out.
Living up to that #1 second baseman in the nation billing there for Isaiah Kador at second base.
Now Joshua Martin. Martin drew a walk in his first and only trip to the plate before this. I think the 2 catchers may have just been talking about, yeah, he just hit 91 for the first time.
He's probably just being like, hey, ask him not to throw it to me.
First pitch, Martin puts it in play. Shortstop has it. That'll be out number 2. Quick work here for Gavin Gephardt.
Yeah, his replacement there at shortstop making a good play. Might be Ban Savage based on the arm sleeve that we had seen him wearing at the plate. Could be him there at shortstop.
This will be Hayden Jones. Jones at a Central Phoenix High School in Alabama steps in with 2 outs.
There's some of the breaking stuff. I like that.
16-mile-an-hour run differential. Mile per hour, differential here for Gephardt.
Nearly a 16-run differential.
Yeah, well. Then he goes with a 67-mile-an-hour curveball.
I like that a lot.
Wow.
Now you put it 91 on his hands and just see what he can do with it.
Gavin Gephardt giving you something to think about here with this
yeah.
arm. This is some fascinating stuff here from this Cambridge 2028. He goes
There's
fastball 90.7 and gets the punch out to end the inning. And, man, Gavin Gephardt, man, that's an arm we will absolutely remember. We're headed to the 5th inning. Are they going to call it?
The way the people are scattering, I don't know. Looks like we might be.
East Coast Sox should be making their way back out.
Considering I see Prep Baseball Georgia photographer,
our former
Tucker,
intern,
taking the field.
Preston Tucker Malcolm out there. All right, that's going to be it. Yeah, Atlanta Braves scout team is the 15U national champions. They are 16-2 winners over East Coast Sox after 4 innings of play. Plenty for us to get into. We'll be back shortly to wrap all this up. Congratulations to the Atlanta Braves scout team.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
You gotta find your people, the ones that make you feel alright, the kind you wanna stay up with all night.
With its unbeatable power and its versatility, the Eminence 605 grill from Atlanta-based Monument Grills lets you grill like a pro. Learn more about the Eminence 605 and their other grills at monumentgrills.com.
2, 1.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Grayson, Rosen with you. A 16-2 win in 4 innings for Atlanta Braves scout team puts a cap on the 15U National Championship. And Grayson, this was just absolutely dominating stuff of this Atlanta Braves scout team. You just look what they did offensively. 9 hits in total, 2 by Daniel Biondo, 2 for Brooks DeRosa, 3 RBI without a hit, by the way, for Isaiah Cador. Gavin Gephardt drove in 3. Rylan Jenkins had 2 RBI. Top to bottom, this entire lineup contributed.
Yeah, it was unbelievable what we saw from them, and obviously from the jump. 8 runs in that first inning, and then you followed up with 2 more in the second, 2 more in the third, and then the 4 in the fourth to really just cap things off. It was an incredible offensive performance, and the pitching wasn't bad either. The pitching was great. They only gave up the 2 runs, only allowed 2 hits. The pitching was outstanding, really, for Braves scout team.
Yeah, I mean, we have to also say they took advantage of opportunities that they were given. East Coast Sox used 7 different pitchers. They issued 12 walks in this one. While those bats came alive, Atlanta Braves scout team also helped out, and they took full advantage.
Yeah, and we saw some great base running as well from this Braves scout team throughout this game that was super important in those early runs.
Yeah, credit, by the way, also to Liam Collier, A.J. Hickox, and Gavin Gephardt on the mound for Atlanta Braves scout team, is setting the tone, giving up, again, just 2 hits and 2 runs in this one as they walk away with a dominant win to call themselves 15U national champions. Now let's go to our Aspen Hospitality moment that matters, and that will come off the bat of Gavin Gephardt. The Cambridge 2028 puts this one in play, and then he was in motion. See Rylan Jenkins tagging up there. 2 runs, Will Cross for Atlanta Braves scout team. The last 2 runs across the plate for them in this one as they get a comfortable win. And Gavin Gephardt, by the way, follows that up, gets it on the mound and runs it up to 91.1 miles an hour.
Yeah, hits 91 twice, was in the 90s, I think 4 times in that last inning that he pitched. So he gives them the lead there, the bigger lead, I guess, and then follows it up with a couple more moments that mattered for him on the mound.
Big day for the Cambridge 2028. But our Publix player of the game goes to Daniel Biondo. Fresh off finding out that he will be a part of Team Georgia for the upcoming feature games, goes 2 for 4 with 2 RBI, and I thought really set the tone for this Atlanta Braves scout team lineup.
Yeah, it was a perfect start to this game for this squad. And on Biondo's double, you also had some heads-up base running from Gephardt that just kind of kept things rolling. I loved what I saw out of this team, and Biondo really, like you said, set the tone there in that first inning with that big hit.
Told me he prides himself on being a leader, and he was certainly that. By the way, he's going to get himself a $20 Publix gift card for his efforts today. So make sure you come back and check out all of our social media channels to be able to find Simone Stanley's interview with Daniel Biondo, our Publix player of the game. That will bring a close to the 15U National Championship. Atlanta Braves scout team leaving as the sole survivors. Next up, the 16Us. That tourney, by the way, gets to get started tomorrow morning, so no rest for the weary here at LakePoint Sports. We'll have our next game of the day coming on Saturday as we will bring you the building champions. They'll be taking on Wacalda baseball. That one will be at 12:40, so make sure you join us for that. Like always, it'll be available for free on Facebook, X, and YouTube. So until next time, for Grayson Rosen, Jack McCartney, and producers Maddie Bullock and Mason Monroe, I'm Cory McCartney, and we are signing off from LakePoint Sports.